Shalom, can give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do rule and teach well. See, I'm brother here, Shamash One Ban Yehoda, and today I'm going to be talking about Revelation, the 9th chapter, continuing on where I left off. And I think I'll just start here. Actually, hold on, running to the sound battles, so to the lines. Yeah, I'll start here, right? Revelation 9:6. And those shall men seek death and shall not find it, shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Now, last time I talked about basically how in this point in history from 1914 to 1919, there was extensive advancements in medical technology, and people pretty much weren't really dying from the things that they were typically die from. You had things like antisepsis, medical cleaning of the wounds and things like that. Those things are starting to kind of come into prominence. They didn't really have antibiotics back then, but they were learning about things like keeping surgical equipment clean and other things like that. Things that people would probably die from in like the Civil War, people weren't going to die from during World War I. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. Right? So the crowns like gold is the helmet, more specifically the pickelhaube, which you could look up, the old German helmet. Faces of men. The men operated the planes, right? Because, whereas the faces of men, right, and their faces were the faces of men, because, you had the cockpit, and, you're pretty much all exposed up there while you're flying, They didn't have, like our modern cockpits, like our planes, they look damn near like, cars, the modern ones. You got a thing that comes over you, like almost like a convertible. I've seen some of them, and they just like lock you all the way in, it's wild. But we know from Revelation 12 chapter, Revelation the 12th chapter, that Satan and his angels circle against Yahushua and his angels, talking about, basically the Roman Empire, the dragon is angels, Slovakia, right, which represents, the Roman Empire coming back in reincarnation, because, back then with the Roman Empire, Yahushua never physically came back, during the time of the Roman Empire and took down the pagan Roman Empire. Now, in 2nd Esdras, the 12th chapter talks about how Yahushua rebuked them, but that was all stuff that happened in the spirit world. That didn't, he didn't literally, come down here and put a physical end to the Roman Empire. That never happened. He just put an end to it. Remember, he's the head of all these angels and stuff. So, the Lord had him do what he had to do. Got that nation out of there. Because the Lord could just put spirits on these people, make them do whatever they want, put a dumb spirit on them, put a demon to make them fuck up, and get them to pretty much ruin their empire, or raise up spirits of war and, violence within them, like that's what happened to Domitian. I think Domitian was the last one. I think it was Vespasian, Titus, and then Domitian. I believe so, but I got to look back at 2nd Esdras 11 and 12. Don't quote me on that. I think Vespasian was the last of the 4 emperors. So they have hairs, the hair of woman, and their teeth, whereas the teeth of lions. Right, here's the hair of woman, the pickelhaube. Once again, this time with the plumes, a little hairy thing at the top, which I think is horsehair. Teeth represents the bullets coming out of the machine gun, right? Because, the teeth of a lion is its weapon, and, so they bite you. So the way they caused the pain was through that machine gun. I remember looking at something, there was some of those planes actually had teeth on them, like people painted teeth on them. And they had breastplates, as with the breastplates of iron. The sound of their wings was the sound of chariots and many horses running to battle. It's the sounds of planes, which actually do sound like like a horse, kind of like galloping almost. I can't really explain it, but if you listen to planes, it's like, kind of sounds like a horse galloping. like the spinning turbine or whatever you call it, the front of the plane, the spinning thing. I don't know. I don't know. Aerodynamics, but I'm assuming that's just get rid of the air resistance so the plane can actually kind of like move. I'm assuming. I don't really know. And they had tails like with the scorpions, and the things in their tails, and the powers hurt men 5 months. Once again, is the 5 years, and the tails, as I said before, is the tail gun, which I think is written earlier. Maybe not. Yeah, scorpions and airfed power. Yeah, so it's the tail guns. Certain models of the plane. I think you had some that had just a front gunner, but some had a rear gunner. And it's obviously so guys can hit you out of the front, hit you out the back, fuck you up. I think I guess kind of more the modern gunships that you see. I don't say modern. I think modern gunships are like at a different level, like the AC-130. I'm pretty sure it's like a different fucking level, but the gunships changed a lot in like World War II. Like now you had gunners out the side and shit like that, which I think carried on to like helicopters and stuff like that. You have a gunner with a machine gun. They can, obviously, gun your ass down when they do a medevac. So where were we? And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue had this name Apollyon. King Angel of the bottomless pit, Kaiser William II, Abaddon, and Apollyon mean destruction. So the messenger or king ruler, was Germany. Germany was the man back then. You look it up. Pretty much at the Industrial Revolution, Germany was running the show. They basically were able to produce high quality goods, and they were able to undersell anybody, and they were able to get great wealth. And that's why they put the hard reparations out them with the Treaty of Versailles, pretty much to take them down. Put them down, put them in subjection. But that was pretty much all the elites doing to begin with. The elites of Germany sold out their own people, and so on and so forth. But as I said before, the illuminated ones, I believe they started out in Bavaria, which I think was like a German or Prussian province, which they're all the same, man. These guys are like right next to each other. But the people who are in those lands are, now Edomites. Back then, they, if we go to the ancient world, they used to be Japheth. But they got pushed out. And in time, Jake ruled it, and then in time, Esau got it back. So Revelation 9:12, one rule was passed, and behold, there come two rules hereafter, which is World War I is passed, and World War II has to still happen, and then World War III needs to happen, which we're moving into now. And pretty much American bases across Iraq were attacked by Iranian-backed militias, which makes sense. I was watching another brother. I don't know if it was Bakaramov or who it was, but he was saying, in time, Russia is going to be brought into this. Russia it's very possible that could happen, but when I was just hearing of it, and this is before I even saw the news article, honestly, Iran's going to be brought into it way before Russia, because once again, Iran is just a proxy state for Russia, so Russia's going to may be involved, may not. I honestly don't think Russia's going to get involved. Not yet, personally. So, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Most High. Let's see what this is. Alright, sixth angel pours foul of the great river Euphrates, and the water that was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be repaired. Alright, same event as in Revelation 9:13. Water that was dried up, the Euphrates going towards a drought that will completely be sucked up when the nuclear missiles hit. Other places like Holland will have floods. The kings of the east, Arab nations, Iran, right? So pretty much so they can come out and do war. And it's just like their symbol. Saying the sixth angel had the trumpet loses four angels, which are bound the great river Euphrates. So that's what that means, right? And that actually proves that World War III is going to be in the Middle East. So I actually forgot about that. We can dump that. And World War III, and Revelation 9:15. And the four angels were loose, which were paid for an hour and a day and a month and a year for the slave of third party men. Age of breakdown. Third party men represents Esau. And pretty much wherever they are, those nuclear missiles are gonna hit. So you see, it skips in time. All right. And I saw the number. Yeah, and I saw the number of the army of the horsemen, which are 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Which the precept for this would be, I think it was Joel, the 2nd chapter, that talks about them. They call them like mighty men, mighty men of war. It calls them missiles. Right, so future prophecy, horsemen of the ICBM missiles, 200 million warheads. And check out Joel, the 2nd chapter. I went into it at camp, so you can watch my camp as well. I have to look for it. By these three were the third party men killed by the fire and by the smoke, by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths, right? Because those are like the parts of the nuclear missiles, the explosion. The brimstone is the sulfur. For the powers in their mouth and in their tails, for the tails like unto serpents and had heads, but then they do hurt, right? Because the tails were like unto serpents, because serpent has that long tail, and the missiles have exhaust, and it kind of shoots the plane out. And the heads as the warheads, the missiles, they get multiple warheads in one, right? 200,000, that's just the warheads, when you get up ahead. And the rest of the men which are not killed by these plagues, repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which can neither see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their deaths. The angels are going to come down and put in that work on them, and men of the Lord are going to be out there, 144,000 men of the elect going to be on the ground too, putting hurting on them, like Psalm 137. And it's just going to have the elites going to escape into their bunkers. They're going to get put into slavery, pretty much when the time is ready for us to come back down. We're going to put the elites into slavery. We're going to get them. And then we're also going to get the Israelites that are in these other nations. And they're going to be brought to us, and pretty much receive the judgment. The ones that are righteous, accept them in. And any wicked jigs that are going to rebel, we'll put them down, like Yahushua said. Anyone that will not worship before me, him shall slay them before me. So that's what's going to go down. So that's pretty much that, and what I just mentioned, that goes back to 2nd Esdras, the 13 of the, I think it is the 13th chapter. You just read that and you'll get a good idea. Look at Bakar Moff's breakdown of it, and you'll get a good idea. The one you were edified, and that is it. Shalom.